I started Princeton Air Conditioning. I was working for my dad's business, Needham Trucking, after I graduated from St. Joe's College in Lower Merion, Pennsylvania, with a degree in accounting. The trucking industry was run by the Teamster Union, and it was at times, even though my dad's business was his own business, it was an unclear business type, and I wanted to get out of that. Then my dad sold the business to Del Monte Company, and it seemed to open up possibilities. I was actively looking for work, and I remember my wife saying, "Why don't you start a business, your own business?" And I heard about the train company, and they were looking to set up a dealership in the area of New Jersey and did not have anyone in the Princeton area. They said in the next 20 years, all companies will have central air conditioning, and they needed service, and then they had units that needed to be replaced every 15 or so years. That seemed like a viable business to me. And when I finally heard that the dealers were making $20,000 annually, I was all in. I then traveled to Wisconsin and was met with Ken Beard, an engineer with the train company, and said he had opportunities to have my own dealership. I was sold on the idea that the train company was made easy. Well, my wife did not think that. It was easy managing 6 children. Ooh. Yeah, on my own. Took my Oldsmobile and drove out to Wisconsin. I put in about 6 or 8 weeks in there, training in there. Stayed out there, left my wife and the kids in here, in Princeton, and learned how do you run an HVAC company.
Yeah.
I then drove back and started my own business in Princeton Junction area. I came back and looked for a building to open my business in.
Yeah.
And found one right in Princeton Junction also. Yeah, I'd come home for lunch and bring Joan a hoagie for her to eat, which she didn't.
So
the company helped me get financing in Princeton area, and they took me over to the bank, and I think I ended up, they gave me a loan of $25,000. That was all the money I had, and I came back and I started doing cold calling, actually, to get dealers or to get business. I went around and hired people and learned what they had taught me out in Wisconsin, how to run the business. So I started advertising in the paper and got people coming in, and I finally ended up hiring about, in the end, I hired about 4 or 5 people, some of which were workers, and I think there was one salesman we had, and me. And then it went from there. I did the things that they said you should do.
Right.
I didn't try to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. There's no train dealership in the area that I was in. That was a brand new area for the train dealership to get started in. So
you were the only
I was the only one there.
business. So
Yes.
everybody was coming to you. So Scott says you guys talked. He remembers how busy you were, and then I think he called you again and said, Dad, maybe I'm not sure what my career path is.
Yeah. He was an architect.
Correct.
He'd gone to taken architecture in school, but he said it didn't. When he started working in that field, it didn't ring his bell.
Yeah.
At all.
And so
he was interested in coming into something new, like the heating and air conditioning business. And I said, yeah, sure, let's come on down.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you told me it was great to have somebody you could trust.
Yeah.
You know, like.
That's what he thought.
Yeah, yeah. And so at that point, 1987, were you in the like 10,000 square foot?
I had rented a 10,000 square foot office building and shop, I guess you would say. So we were in there every day,
Right.
working, and we hired. We had ads running in the paper, and we kept hiring people, and people. They came in. We started them off in a training program, and then they started working in the field. It really blossomed. It really did. I labored for 50 some years there, and then I retired, and he took over the company, and he's done an unbelievable job with it. An unbelievable job. It was working. It was, it was very successful, and he did a good job with it.
Yeah.
And he's grown that thing to. I think he's got 60 trucks now, and he's up or 70 some people. So he's done a good job.
What about Mrs. Your wife?
Well, she said, "Why don't you start your own business?" And that was the key thing. And I said, "Yeah, I think I should start my own business. I don't have any place to go that it looks great." So I did. I started my own business, and she didn't work with it though. She was an artist, because there was just so much work there, and Train was the kind of a person that would train you and make sure, and if something came along that they thought would work for you, they told you about it. They said, "We better get training on this thing." So they're very good doing that. We started a television business in the Train company, and we, did sales through that, and we hired people. We took actually just people and brought them in and said, "Here, I want you to read this and be a trainer."
Joe, tell me about your style of leadership. I got the feeling that your dad, when he was working with the trucking business, ran a very tight ship.
Yes, he did. Very, very tough ship. He was a very tough person to work for. I felt I had to work elsewhere. I didn't want to work with him. You just couldn't be a hard ass with everything. You had to treat the people the way they should be treated, and I just pursued that path. Running your own business, if it's successful, is really fun, and things just worked out very, very well. So yeah, we lived the good life. Oh, I took him to Vermont. Yeah, we actually bought the sugar bush. My wife and 6 kids and myself. We had a vacation home up there. I worked very well with people, and was able to hire decent people who were good employees. We just had a good run, 54 years. Scott continues to handle it and be successful at it.
Yeah, maybe another 54.
Yeah, could be. And I won an award with the Chamber of Commerce. Scott and I had to give a speech, which was very, very hard for me. Easy for Scott. Well, he already has that style. He's very people friendly. He talks to everybody. He gets along with everybody. He gets along with most everybody in the business. So I don't know. What else can I tell him? Keep going.